I think we all agree that cards like Pokeball and Professor's Research are clearly staples in almost every deck in Pokemon Pocket. But how about we take it a step further and look at the best support cards in Pokemon Pocket, and what these cards might be able to do for you and your deck. And no, I'm not talking about trainer supporters. Hey, Zen here, and today we're checking the best support engines that provide specific strategies for your decks. You can use these recommendations to help craft your next favorite deck in Pokemon Pocket. And in no particular order, let's get started with the Draw engine. More specifically, Meowth. Now, Meowth is a great opener to help you chip damage while also drawing cards that you need from your deck. And because of this, it's typically run with 3 Pokemon lines to increase odds of evolving effectively. Things like Gengar EX. However, it's not the only draw support we have access to. In fact, we have a more specific one, being Caterpie. Now with Caterpie, you're able to draw a Grass-type Pokemon from your deck, acting as a Draw Engine variant. However, this line is actually split between 2 engines, Draw and Sustained. More specifically, Caterpie and Butterfree. Sorry Metapod, you're just a pit stop on the road to immortality. And what we mean by that is Butterfree's ability to heal all your Pokemon by 20 HP each turn. Throw in a second Butterfree on the bench, and now you're looking at replenishing 40 HP and easily making this strategy one of the best self-sustaining healing engines in the entire game. Now, as of what kind of decks your Butterfree will most likely thrive in, it would have to be pretty much any grass-dominant deck, with a heavy focus on Pokemon like Venusaur or Venusaur EX, adding their own sustain to the healing package. But with this kind of ability, Butterfree could virtually work in any other typed deck, so long as they heal from the bench. Now, where this falls short is it being a second stage Pokemon and needing to find your Caterpie and Metapod in order to evolve and heal your Pokemon. However, if you can overcome breaking, then you should be golden. Next up is the Ramp engine, and for this, we'll look at 3 cards that help their decks accelerate energy fast. We have Lilligant for grass types, Moltres EX for fire type decks, and of course Gardevoir for psychic type decks. Each of these Pokemon can help their heavy hitters gain energy fast in order to get online and allow their decks to do what they need to do. However, not all ramp cards are created equally. For instance, Lilligant is a stage 1 Pokemon that requires 2 energy before you start to ramp any grass energy onto your benched Pokemon. A great deck where this type of support thrives is a Venusaur EX deck, since it requires 4 energy to shut down opponents. Next is Moltres EX, which is a basic Pokemon that only requires 1 energy to ramp your fire types on your bench. However, it's all up to chance, with you being able to ramp up to 3 energy at most a turn and as little as a big fat 0. If you flip nothing but tails. Nonetheless, Moltres EX is an integral part of any fire type deck where it shines, something like a Charizard EX package. Then we have Gardevoir, which I think is the best ramp card in the entire game, which consistently allows you to play 2 psychic energies a turn. The only downside is that it is a stage 2 Pokemon, meaning you need to draw both your Ralts and your Kirlia before getting this Pokemon online and using its ability. Good news is you don't need it in the active spot to ramp your active psychic type Pokemon, which is why you'll typically see it run with things like Mewtwo EX. So if ramping is your kind of playstyle, then maybe one of these Pokemon can help you build the deck you're looking for. Now let's check out the Stall engine. This one is unique because it utilizes many different characteristics in order to stall opponents. First, we have Snorlax, which is the thickest non-EX basic Pokemon with an HP of 150, which allows you to stall out for a few turns, so that way you can find the Pokemon that you need and build them up and get them online. However, a major weakness is its retreat cost being 4, meaning you're almost always just kind of stuck there waiting for this Pokemon to get KO'd, which also means 1 point to your opponent, but also time for them to get their own Pokemon online. Now, you typically see a Snorlax in a deck with Pokemon that require a ton of energy to get online with no reliable ramp options. Next, we've got the Sleep Stall, which utilizes Hypno and its ability to flip a coin in order to sleep the opposing active Pokemon. A lot of chance involved, but a great way to stall out your opponent's active Pokemon from attacking and or retreating, while all the while chipping damage and getting your own Pokemon online. Hypno works great with other Psychic-type decks like Alakazam or even Gengar EX. Then finally, we have probably my favorite stall engine because it's also another combo engine. The Toxic Stall, utilizing Weezing. The way this works is Weezing's ability to poison the opponent's active Pokemon, which deals tick damage every turn, which can quickly add up. Now, what makes this stall strategy one of the best is another combo card being Koga, which allows you to bounce your Weezing back to your hand, shift another Pokemon from your bench to your active spot, and then replay your Coughing from your hand and evolve next turn to do it all over again. Such an incredible card that might honestly be, in my opinion, the best support card out of the entire set. But that's just me. Now you can find Weezing doing things like this in decks like this Dragonite deck list. Next has got to be Pidgeot with the Swap Engine. Just like the supporter card Sabrina, Pidgeot is able to force out your opponent's active Pokemon with one of their benched Pokemon, however they choose the replacement. Good news is about this Pokemon is that it doesn't take away your supporter card ability to use for the turn, meaning you can still play other cards like Giovanni or Professor's Research. However, the downside of this is that it does require you to find your Pidgey and Pidgeotto since it is a Stage 2 Pokemon. One of my favorite Pidgeot decks has got to be this Lockdown Arbok variant, which now brings us to the final support engines in the game that I think definitely should have a spot in today's video. And those are fossils, which I guess we can call the Protect engine, since the whole goal of these cards are to protect your real Pokemon from any damage. Now, how this works is by swapping out your active Pokemon with a fossil and letting it take damage while your real Pokemon heals or gains energy, or by using your fossil's discard feature to then bring out your real Pokemon back to the active spot for free. This is mostly seen in 18 trainer card deck that utilize cards like Articuno EX or Zapdos EX. However, you can definitely use them in almost any other decks as well. And there you have it, those are my recommended support engines. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, which are your favorite, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.